Hey gang, this is your coach Jeff here for How to Build a Strong Core Part 2. So a lot of people are familiar with planks, but we're going to talk about some specific benefits and how you can start a plank from any point. So planks are really helpful when it's time to build tension in your core to keep your spine stable, keep your spine in neutral. This is so important whether we're talking about in the gym, whether it's pushing, pulling, lifting from the ground, or if it's picking up a grandchild. All the force that is produced to pick something up, push, pull, or use your limbs goes through your core, through your spine. So step number one to being able to function well is to be able to create tension at your core, and a plank is a very practical, easy way to do that. So we're gonna go through some options. Most people are familiar with the forward plank. We're gonna look at some other options that may be helpful for you to start building a strong core. So lots of people have seen planks down on the floor. That's not appropriate for everybody. What we can do is the less you are horizontal to the ground, the more vertical you are, the easier a plank is. So you can start a plank from a countertop, feet together. You're trying to hold tension in your core like you're bracing for a punch, but you want to keep breathing. If you need to you want to ramp up this core activity and make it full body, you can squeeze your heels together, straighten your knees, and squeeze your glutes to create more tension to keep your core nice and strong. If this is a little bit too easy with your arms extended, you can come down to your forearms as you get stronger, and you can do your forward planks from here. Or maybe a countertop is a little bit too high. You can use a standard height chair and do the same thing as long as it's stable. You can do that with outstretched arms, or you can do it down on your elbows. So you've got your forearms on the chair, creating tension. Once that has gotten easy, your next step is to move yourself down to the floor and do this from your knees. You want to have a nice straight line. Forearms are down, creating tension, and make sure you're breathing. The next step, once those have gotten easier, you can come up on your toes into this kind of modified push-up position. This works great. Make sure you're squeezing through your heels, glutes, straightening your knees. And then finally, the one that is the closest to parallel to the ground, the most challenging option for the forward plank is right here. So those are great options for the forward plank, but our body needs stability in more than one plane of motion. So we've got lateral planks can be super helpful for making sure we've got lateral stability in our body. Because even though we primarily move forward, we need the stability side to side to stay strong and healthy. So side planks can be done much the same way. We can do a side plank here, trying to make sure that our butt's not way back, hips are not forward in extension, and we're not dropping our hips to the side. We want to create a nice, strong, straight line. Long lines or strong lines. Then we can go down to the forearms and options just like we showed before, all the way down to the ground. One that is a little bit underutilized in my opinion is a reverse plank. So the forward plank is great at working the front side of your body, but what about the back side? A lot of our power muscles we use to squat, pick things up off the ground. So we can do a reverse plank. You can put forearms on a countertop, feet are together, and we're going to try to create a straight line from here. So the reverse plank can be a really nice option to start strengthening what we call the posterior chain of muscles. You can do that from here, or you can do it from the ground. So once you get good at this, feet together from the ground, these are pretty challenging. If you're a professional planker, try this out. Spice it up a little bit. May need to stretch your shoulders out a little bit before, but those are some great ways for you to be able to build your own strong core part 2.